Welcome back to another episode of the Gordon Yutmeyer Show. I'm coming to you live on January 6th, 2025. Today is um, the 4-year anniversary of January 6th, the, the riot and protest um, that happened on the Capitol. But also, today is the certification of the 2024 election. And so I just wanted to briefly talk about what's going on, what I think might happen, and what else has happened the same day as the certification. So, a couple things. The first thing is Friday, which was January 3rd, was the certification of the 119th, I think, Congress, and they were certified. They officially was certified into Congress, and majority on the House and the Senate is the Republicans, and so, um, which is good. I mean, for those particularly on the right, I consider myself a conservative on the right when it comes to it. So, it's some good things. I'm glad that there was no issues with certifying the Congress and stuff. Um, I was expecting something, some kickback to certifying all those people in Congress. Um, One kickback that did happen was Mike Johnson for Speaker of the House. It took two votes. Um, the first one, he was off by three votes. I think three Republicans did not um, vote in the first vote, and then some conversations, some deals were probably made for Speaker Mike Johnson to be um, elected House of Speaker, uh, and so that happened all on Friday. Well, today is second the second part of a third thing um, for the 2024 election. The first one was the certification of the Congress, certification of um, Donald Trump and Vice President. Um, what's his name? I just forgot his name. Vince. And so I almost I almost said Mike Vince. Vince, but he's going to get elected today as well. That's early this afternoon. Um, and so in the next following the last third installment of this 24 election will be the inaugural day on the 20th to have Trump and the VP sworn in as the president of the United States, and then we can get things kicked off, get this country turned back around. A lot of things that's happened. Um, Obviously, what happened the first day of 2025, you had that, you know, terrorist attack in Louisiana and Nevada. So some things just need to be changed all on all boards and all levels. So um, slowly but surely, things are getting turned around. Another thing that has happened today is Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, officially resigns today, 2 days before an important, um, I guess, immediate voting. I don't know what they call it up there, but he resigns, which I am shocked after 9 years of being Prime Minister of Canada. he resigns due to pressure from not only his party but also just Canadians. They're fed up, especially what happened in 2020 with the whole trucking shutdowns, the inflation. So the last few 5 years, I want to say last 5 years, has been really um, crazy for Canadians. So an important date for Canadians also. Not only do we get the certification of the United States um, election certified, but also Canada looks like looks like they have some hope and some things turning around with Justin Trudeau resigning. Now, Pierre Polove, I think that's how you say it. I'm not good with saying his last name, but that's not the point. Uh, there's a key vote happening in a couple days, and I guess what he said in his press conference is another vote in March. So Pierre hopefully gets in, change Canadians' viewpoint of their government around, bring some trust back into their government. Um, and so that's a key thing for trading purposes, because there was talks of how Trump and the relationship with Justin was going to go, and tariffs and trade deals between Canada and Mexico, just those three primary countries, and how it was going to unfold. So that's a good thing for Canadians. Um, Another thing um, that broke was that Joe Biden was going to ban offshore drilling before he leaves office, and so um, yeah, that's not good for our energy and energy sources. Um, I think that's a last ditch effort to really suppress um, Trump's agenda of America first and relying on our own energy as a country. And so that's what happened um, early this morning. Now, after hearing that he was going to ban offshore drilling, Trump immediately went on Truth Social and Twitter to say, "Hey, I'm going to unban that immediately." So I don't think it's not going to last long. Just because, why would you? It does not make sense to ban that for your own country. It just doesn't make any sense when you're all about the Americans and putting them first, which your campaign and your party did not run on. But not only that, but you alluded to that hey, this is um, the point that America needs to get back to being first and all that stuff, and you go ahead and ban offshore drilling. So does not make sense. Does not make sense. Um, what's some other key things that happen? Um, I guess I could put this. I know it's not. It's off topic or whatever. Aubrey Plaza, her husband passed away. R.I.P. They're calling it a suicide that happened early over the weekend. So my thoughts and prayers for her and his family. Um, what else? Let's see. I believe that's it for now. Um, Later this week, hopefully. I don't know if you guys can tell with the brightness coming through. And that is the snow reflecting off the ground. Um, because we got a good chunk of a snowstorm here the last couple days in Indiana. And so we're going to be dealing with that. So, what this episode was originally going to be about is going to be what they call Black Monday in the NFL and sports related episode, which did not happen. And so I'm looking forward to doing another episode later this week and posting it, obviously, and having that correlate with um, what this off season looks like, not only for the Colts, but for the NFL. You got key coaches and teams looking for coaches this season. So I'm looking forward to bringing that conversation up um, later this week. And, the playoffs, obviously. So that's a couple things. What else? That was going to be it. Um, the reason why I'm making this podcast is just to get some content out there for people to listen to. I did a trailer for the first, what do you want to call it, the first episode, a trailer for the show. And I put that out last week. And so now this episode, I felt like, you know, um, sports with it ending, the NFL regular season ending, I figured that'd be the right time to go ahead and put some content out for um, sports world, but with the weather and stuff, it just did not happen. So recap of today's episode is just basically certification of the 2024 election. It's happening today. Justin Trudeau resigns as Prime Minister of Canada. Mike Johnson is officially the Speaker of the House. And Trump put his support behind him, which is a really good thing. Um, some people were questionable on Mike Johnson. Joe Biden bans offshore drilling, which Trump said he will automatically unban once he gets in office. Um, so that wraps up today's video. I know it's kind of short, it's kind of brief. I just needed to put something out there and let people get an idea of what the Gordon Yutmeyer Show is going to be about. And this is the first video and audio episode 2, and so I'm looking forward to see how it all works out, how it looks. And like I said, this is a one take thing, so I know the quality of the video might not be the best. I know the audio is good because I'm using a mic that does really well. I'm picking up my voice. And so, yeah, I appreciate you stopping by and taking a listen to today's episode. Be on the lookout for the podcast with Matt. I'm hoping to bring him in later this week to do an episode and talk about the NFL and how it wrapped up, and not only what we think the off season is going to look like, but also what the playoffs predictions are going to be like. And so I'll leave that as that. Like I said, a brief podcast. It's about 15 minutes long, and just needed to get some content out there. So I appreciate it for stopping by. Like I keep saying, I know I keep repeating myself, but um, if anything else breaks, I might add it to this episode later, because that certification is supposed to take it's supposed to start this afternoon and finish up later this afternoon. They had a snowstorm too, so we'll see what happens. I know there's not going to be any protest. DC is on high alert. That's another thing that broke over the weekend. That it was code red for the Capitol, obviously for the anniversary of January 6th. But also just we don't know, both sides. They got us in a fog of war right now. I could talk about that briefly, real quick. Fog of war, with this whole January 6th election date and certifying the election. They also did that with the terrorist attack last week. They put some information out there saying that both people were from Fort Bragg. Um, and I won't go into detail with that because I'm 50-50 on it. So, fog of war. Same thing with the certification. I'm glad that they have code red and DC is on high alert. That's what it needs to take place to certify the election. And so I'm glad that's happening, and I'm hoping nothing seriously um, breaks in and something disturbs that process like it did in 2021. All right, well, I'm going to log off here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for stopping by, and hope to catch you at a later date.